We thought we still have a few minutes to 9 before our dinner is served. So if there's anybody who would like to ask any questions, please, the mic will be passed around and you're free to ask. We'll just have a very quick 10-minute Q&A. So would you like to raise your hand? We have a cordless mic being passed around. Yes, please.
Swamiji, this question is for you. I think you brought up a very interesting concept of purpose. And you also use the analogy of actions which are identical but having different purpose. I think this is a moral dilemma that most people in business today face, is to how do you align your actions with, what is your inner calling or your purpose? If you could just elaborate a little bit, it was a great example, but I think in today's modern context, how would you essentially provide advice and guidance?
Thank you. There are 3 principles that are held very sacred within all true spiritual and dharmic traditions. There is sadhana. Sadhana means to have a spiritual practice, what actually helps us to reconnect with our own true values and purpose. Hearing from people with realization, from the great scriptures. This is the second principle, satsang, to be with people who inspire us. The Alcoholics Anonymous organization has helped more people who are alcoholics than any other organization in the world. And they have basic universal spiritual principles that they come together with. And I remember I was in California just a couple of years ago, and one of my friends, he's a very affluent person, very influential person. He went through a severe crisis in his life. He was an alcoholic in the past. He was sober about 20 years. But when this crisis came, it was practically impossible for him to not turn back to alcohol, because he was really in a gloomy state. But the people from his Alcoholics AA chapter, they were with him day and night. They weren't paid for it, because they knew how vulnerable he would be. So they stayed with him. They spoke to him. They took him places. And when I met him, he said, they saved my life. Satsang is a principle like that. When we're with people who really care about us on a spiritual and moral level, they give us great strength. The redwood tree is the tallest, biggest tree in the world. And it withstands earthquakes, massive storms, blizzards, keeps growing. Because the roots underground, they reach out and they connect to each other. The roots embrace and make a bond with each other. Their unity is their strength. This is satsang, where we actually come together with people who give us spiritual strength, inspiration, and clarity of vision. And sadhana is when we take that inspiration and have a spiritual practice, prayer, meditation. In our tradition, we chant Krishna's names. And it actually gives us that connection, that divine connection. And next is sadachar. With what we've been given, we live with integrity. We spend with compassion. So action, in Arjuna's sense, was because he listened to the Bhagavad Gita from Krishna. He had that good association with Yudhisthira. He had good satsang and he had a good sadhana. Duryodhana, he didn't have any sadhana. And he chose to be with people like Sakuni, who only increased his greed. So we need to be with good people. And we need to have a good spiritual practice. And then we will actually have the power to withstand temptations and fears and obstacles and actually live with integrity. The real action that we can look forward to through our yoga, through our spiritual connection, as Mr. Chauhan was explaining, is happiness. Param dristva nivartate, the Gita tells. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarjamarasopyasya param dristva nivartate. When we experience that higher happiness that is within ourselves, there's no greater joy than to share that through our action, through everything we do. The truth of our inner connection, of our religion, of our spirituality, of our yoga, is not just what we talk about. That's part of it. But the real testimony is in our actions, in how we live, in how we treat other people.
Yes, please. Next.
The question is to Swamiji. As one of the speakers said very clearly, at every stage of life, what gives you pleasure keeps changing from 15 years to 20 years to 25 years, and by the time we reach your stage, the different desires, different pleasures. So my question to you is that, sir, or Swamiji, that unless we reach our desires, what we desired at any point of time in our any stage of life, aren't we reaching the closer to the moksha? It's like when a person is being hanged, you always ask him, what's your last desire? What we can do for you? Or in our Hindu mythology or Hindu culture, you say, Are se pucho, I'll speak in Hindi. What is his last desire? Ganga jal dal do, atma ko shanti mil jayegi. So what do you have to say between the desires at any stage of life in while a person is living and getting a moksha? Like you have achieved your desires to be a great man because you wanted to be. You wanted to live for humans. You're living well. But what about others? There's a businessman sitting next to you. There's a BSE head sitting next to you. And there are many of them. Like this general sitting over here. He's officiating general officer commanding. There was a desire for him to command Maharashtra, Goa and Gujarat area because I'm next army officer. So what do you have to say about desire versus moksha versus what we have achieved in our life? Thank you.
In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells, Sarva dharman puritya mame kam sharanam praja aham tvam sarva papibhyo mokshayi sasimachacha. That the essence of all dharma is sharanagati. Sharanagati, or English translation could be surrender. It's not just a concept. It is a way of living. Yat karoshi yat ashnasi yat shohoshi dadasiyat. That what we do, what we speak, what we give in charity, what we have, we understand it's for the purpose of making an offering to the Supreme. using it with devotion and compassion. That's the highest dharma. Prema pumarta mahan. To find that love within ourselves, and then our desires are based on that love. Moksha means to be without material ego, without material desires. The Vedic literatures explain that that doesn't mean we just become blank. It means we have spiritual desires. It means we have the desire that is our true nature. To utilize everything we have and everything we are and everything we know in union with the Supreme. That is the perfection of moksha. And that is something that is beyond birth and death. Padam padam yadvi padam natesham. Because at any moment, for any of us, we don't know what the next circumstance will be. Disease, tragedy, death, they can come to anyone at any time. In the stock exchange, intelligence is making a wise investment. Yes? And my dear friend, Ananda Vrindavan Ji, he's very, very expert at helping people make the best possible investments. From a life perspective, if you were told that you invest all your money, all your wealth, everything you have in this stock, and I guarantee you, you're going to lose everything, will you invest in that? But everything we invest our life in, at death we lose everything. But the soul's eternal. Yoga doesn't mean to renounce the world. It means to use the things of the world and to engage our occupation in such a way that we're investing into the eternal reality of our hearts, our souls. We can speak to our children so many things, but ultimately it's our example that's going to mold their values in life. We can teach our children how to make investments that are in harmony with their eternal soul. Those desires are divine desires.